random disclaimer.
Things that creep me out can always most guaranteedly be something related to a doll. I think of things such as Chucky, that doll up in that movie called The Boy, Annabelle, a ventriloquist dummy. It doesn't matter. Anything related with a doll is kind of creepy to me because I think about my childhood. My mom used to collect these porcelain dolls. It used to be inside of this whole type of trunk. I think that's what it's called, a trunk. And they would be on display. They'll be having little tea parties. They'll be sitting by little tea displays. They'll be sitting there looking pretty. There were different ethnicities. They were from different countries. So, I don't like buying too much stuff from too many places, switching too many hands, because there's too much energy being around me, and I'm really sensitive to energies, and that's not my thing. When I was looking for the scariest Tales from the Crypt episodes, I thought about this one, Tales from the Crypt. It was an early 80s type of TV show that carried on through later years. They had different stories. They're like anthologies. Every episode is like this whole nother new episode. It was a good handful of ones that I can definitely say could compete with this, but I feel like this is one of my top scariest Tales from the Crypt episodes of all time. Let me explain what happened. We first see this guy called Mr Ingles. He runs a successful ventriloquist. I can't get that crap out. Ventriloquist. Oh my goodness, it's such a hard word.
It's your fucking donkey!
And he cracked jokes with his dummy, Morty. And I've seen ventriloquist acts, and they're not my cup of tea because it's creepy to me. The doll, the way you're looking when the doll's talking, like it's just so not giving natural. It's very creepy to me. So when I saw this scene, I was like, ew, no. You know, to Billy's point of view, Mr. Ingles is over here living a life, famous, get whatever he wants, and he kind of wants that too. Unfortunately, Mr. Ingles loses his hand in an accident. His girlfriend was killed, and because of that, his career was ruined forever. You time jump to Billy. Now he's just an amateur ventriloquist, and he shows up on the doorsteps of Mr. Ingles. And since he had a traumatizing incident, he is now a recluse, which he ain't fucking with nobody. He lost his career, his girl. He gonna sit this one out. I understand. Billy was excited to see his idol. He invites his idol to his amateur night. However, Mr. Ingles didn't really give him a firm confirmation, so he just told him that he gonna think about it. But while Billy was on stage, not gonna lie, the crowd was freaking horrendous. While the crowd was hating Billy's act, Mr. Ingles was in the crowd watching the whole thing, which I'm pretty sure it sent Billy's night down a freaking drain. Mr. Ingles was talking up with a girl and stuff like that. Mr. Ingles and Billy meet up after the show. Billy was critiqued on his techniques, no concentration, not really solid material, and not building a connection with the crowd. Billy leaves the bar. He was kind of devastated, venting, and he eventually finds the girl who was seen at that bar with Mr. Ingles. She found murder in her car. Billy went ahead and put his jacket to cover up and ran to his former idol, which I would have done that. Like, why would I put my DNA in that crime scene? Like, what, sir, why? He eventually gets to Mr. Ingles' place, and he found himself shooting up morphine. And I kind of understand. Homie's probably in pain. He did lose his hand inside of that accident. I understand. So Billy went ahead and called his idol out and called him a murderer and a junkie. Billy, bro, calm down. I know he could teach you, but dad, you gonna call him out like that? Mr. Ingles kept bringing up Morty. He kept saying, no, Morty hates women, and Morty this, Morty that, and Billy was not having it. So Billy was over here like, Morty isn't real, bro. Mr. Ingles took off his arm bandage to reveal Morty. And Morty is pretty much a mutated Siamese twin who lives on Mr. Ingles' hand. It talks, it has its own brain, its eyes, its own mouth. It's so creepy. When I looked at this thing, it gave me so much chills. I was like, oh my goodness. It was like a like a living, talking, breathing parasite. Like, you know, from Family Odd Parents, Mr. like the kid with a boil. I felt like that's Boyle in real life. Morty has never seen the light of day. He has only been used for the ventriloquist acts, and him and Ingles have been in cahoots the whole entire time. And the reason why Mr. Ingles takes morphine is to settle Morty down, so he don't be going off the hinges and ultimately go on a freaking killing spree, because allegedly Morty is the one that killed that woman that was in that car. After Billy came to realization of like everything that's happening as far as Morty, like how they're doing their acts, the girl that's murdered in the car, Morty orders Mr. Ingles to kill Billy. So they went on this whole little fighting scene. It's so creepy how they were zooming up on Morty's face, and Morty's over here trying to direct Mr. Ingles, and I kept seeing Morty's face. Mr. Ingles believed that it was best for him to cut his hand off so he could be freed from Morty so he could stop this whole mayhem. Mr. Ingles did just that. He cut his hand off. However, Morty said, bitch, I can still walk. So Morty still was like on a rampage and was so freaking creepy. I was like, hold on, time out. You got this living, breathing thing on your hand and it talks, it's very intelligent, and it's barking orders at you, it's making you possessed, making you act a little bit crazy. It looks kind of creepy, and now that it's free from your hand, now it's free to roam, do whatever it wants. That's freaking terrifying to unleash on the world. You need to go to jail. So after Morty was free, he went ahead and attacked Mr. Ingles, and he literally slipped his throat. It was crazy. And he went ahead and skirted off in the distance, and Billy saw all this. So he went ahead and tried to attack Morty with a baseball bat, trying to defend himself, and he eventually gained the upper hand, and he went ahead and sent Morty to the ranch dimension. I'm just kidding. But Morty ended up in a meat grinder. And as Morty was sitting in the meat grinder, Billy was threatening to ground his ass up and make a casserole out of him. And eventually, Morty was able to convince Billy to spare his life if he do one last thing. They go to business together. So the cycle continues. Billy and Morty are in cahoots and are doing a ventriloquist act together. Billy got what he wanted in the end. He wanted to be a, ventriloquist, whatever. He wanted to live up to his mentor standards, and he's literally using the same dummy. So let's hope that nothing doesn't backfire. And that is my scariest episode that I can think of. The ventriloquist dummy is technically alive and is an intelligent type of thing, and it makes people do bad things, and it can do bad things itself, and it looks terrifying. Can you understand where I'm coming from? If you have an episode that tops mine that is from the Tales from the Crypt, let me know. I really appreciate this TV series. I adore Tales from the Crypt. If you want me to look over some other episodes from Tales from the Crypt, let me know, because I adore these series. And I hope I encourage you to watch this episode, because this episode is really, really creepy. Thank you for watching. I hope they bring you some more scary stuff, not just for the month of October, but sprinkle out through the rest of the year and so on and so forth. But yeah, see you later. Yeah.